Hello, I will review for the watercolor paper as a third one. The first one was the cheap bulky 120 sheets A5 cotton paper. Actually, that was I just so disappointed, so I tried to share my experience with you. And the next one was a walking forward paper. That one is not a cotton, but actually that is very nice for the beginners to practice or the color swatches, that instead of that the bulky papers. And this time I will just review with it the Baohong, the 100% cotton cold press academy grade. These are the academy grade, and these are the artists watercolor paper. They are older cotton, and this difference is a little bit the very subtle, but anyway, they just call that as an artist, and they are the academic grade. So I experience at the moment I experience only the pad style, but in the Baohong they just sell that the loose one, the just individually, but the price is not cheap compared with the other brands. But the price is always very fluctuated, so I don't know the exact price. But anyway, earlier this year I found this watercolor paper. It's very affordable for me in Australia, so I chose the, but that one is very good choice, and then just I still keep buying these papers, and then there is no complaining about the quality. And then so today I will just focusing on only this type, and then I will take a review. I will have the review with them as the next one. So I will just only show the cold press watercolor paper. The very interesting thing is when I bought it, when I found this item from the eBay.com and then also Amazon.com, but the price was different, so I tried to buy more than more only two sets from eBay.com, and then I bought it from the Amazon. That one was a $13 per pad, and that one is around $19. So I at the time I just bought it, and I experienced a very interesting thing is even though they are the same, but I think the quality or the paper texture is very subtle, different. So I just check. I was interested in what is the difference. Anyway, all the papers reasonably good for the price, and I just tested with the Mind of the Watercolor. That he's very famous, the reviewer, and I follow his way for the testing papers. And also I some also another testing type from the other source, and I compare with them. But when I compare with the testing result with the arches, but so actually I just use the same pigments, but they are more vibrant, and this one is a little bit fade. So actually the arches are always just good, have a good reputations for all the YouTubers, but as far as I experience, there I'm not sure why they are the best of it, the reputation. These are the price is even cheaper than this one, but the color vibrancy or the other testing result is not big difference with them. So anyway, I will just keep it here. And the most important thing is what I talking about, that these types, even though they look the same, but the paper texture is a little bit different. But So I hope that when I just buy some paper, the paper by brand is different. That is so okay. But if I buy the same brand and same model, they should be always consistent, but they are not. So when I buy that, I cannot just check the real paper texture from the shop, because I should buy them from the online. Well, once I just after 1 month or some weeks later, I should check that. So it is very annoying thing. Anyway, all the brands pay all the papers are reasonably good, but a little bit mild difference. That one is I prefer this version. But when I had a test, wet and wet testing, what the result is not consistent anyway. This wet and wet dispersed one has a little bit different, even though in the same paper, but has a different. But anyway, these ones are very vibrant compared with the arches. So there is no big, or that one is even better, I think. This one is even arches. But this kind of testing is always different to which paints I use, and then how much I use the water. So we just take that only a reference, and then we don't trust always. And generally, that is a gradient or some layering. Anything is not serious issue. I like this testing result. And then recently, I bought this one, and from the Amazon, same seller, and I think that one is old stock, and this one is a new stock. That is the paper, inner paper was attached here, but this one is also a little bit different. But good thing is I like this paper version, but this and this these are very similar, but exactly not same, but a little bit similar. And then testing, I have tested also, and the testing result is also very good. I tested two, because sometimes taste by taste is different, but they are also all very smoothly dispersed compared with the arches. Arches is not a bright, vibrant, but this one is vibrant and then very good. And when I just tried the wet and wet, I will just link the mind of watercolor. His way is just on the wet paper and then disperse three different red and then the blue colors just to mix on them, but they dispersed very naturally. And also this one is a Ricky YouTuber. She always use this kind of testing, but this one is also very smoothly just dispersed. This one is my favorite paper, but this paper, this disperse wet technique, this one is a little bit marked, but that one is naturally spread. So case by case are a little bit different, but generally good. Actually, I like this paper, and I used to lot for more than this one. This one I just use it newly, and I bought a little bit only 2 pads, but I bought many, so I used this case much more than them. But these papers have some interesting thing I will show you. So I would also compare with what I just really used. This one is I used a lot. I want to show you. This one is the second one version. This one is what I noticed a big difference with two paper. This texture has a little bit dense and very condensed lines, and this second paper pad, the pattern is irregular, and then that is much more similar with our arch, but this is very condensed line. You can notice when I just use both, I noticed that the difference. When I just tried this one, you can find some lines because the textures there is line textures on that paper, so that's why when I just painting, I can feel some textures inside in the horizontal line. But if I just use the loose one or some flowing one, there is some difference. But even I just use some the color swatchy or layering, even though that one is a backside, but that one is very good for the layering effect. And when I just follow the white rabbit the tutorial, this paper is wet and wet, the spread is not bad. I just checked that the effect and then color swatchy, and even I just comparing other brands of the PB19, that one is good. And I just use that the flowers, and then I just use a backside. I just swatch it very vibrant, and recently I just to follow some the flowers, and I practice some color skin Kelly Edington's tutorial, and yeah, that one has the lines, so always this kind of the horizontal patterns here, and so but still when I just practice for that one is a Sugyong Art Institute for the rainy days, that one is very naturally spread, dispersed, so that one is I like this practice. And when I just follow the Chayeon's the portrait, so that one is interesting. So I was happy to use this paper, but I want to say to you, even though they are the same model, but they have the different texture of the paper. That one is more loose, and then the irregular pattern, and then like the little bit flowing. There is a wave pattern, but that one is a linear, repeated and then condensed pattern. So I used this paper, and also I tried these second papers. I preferred one. Even I was so happy with this paper colors, and then I just practice with that on here. And even though that one is the what is it? That one is a background. When I just use the wrong way with much water used, and then but these ones are very nice. That in when I just compare with the always with that the Buckingford paper is very smooth, and this one is very also smooth with any mark, and then that one is a Moulin Roy. But when I just try the lift off from Denmark, so there is some lines here, but anyway, the Moulin Roy's paper is very soft, and then its color vibrancy is very nice. But also this paper, almost the same with the color vibrancy. I tested the same paints on that to test with the Moulin Roy, and then this paper is almost the color vibrancy is almost the same, but this paper is more famous for the softness, so that is very soft. But the Buckingford is also very good, even though that one is very cheap, and that one is only 150 GSM, and that is not a cotton paper, but that is also very good. So that's why I just recommend you for any practice. So I was happy with the median paper, even though the paper, but why they are the different. So I should compare with, and then I should check the difference between them. Anyway, that one is the second one, and recently I bought the third one. And I practiced the color, and this one is checking, and I just color checking on the back side, and this pattern is very similar with the second one, but a little bit different. I'm so microscopic, but if the pattern is very similar, and then actually there is no linear condensed pattern anymore. So it's good because I suppose that the Baohong paper academic grade just improved than the old stock. I believe that that one is old stock and that one is a new one because I bought it newly. So this one is recently bought the third one, and I practiced. That is very famous character on Pinterest. I pick up some the painting for the practice. But the color is very soft. That one, I think this one is a little bit softer than the second version. This version, this paper is very similar with that the Arche. When I just compare with the Arche, there is no big that is the Indian. Oh, that one is So when I tested on the Arche and the median paper, and I just want to check. So yeah, that is those are my experience for the Baohong paper, and then compare with the Arche, and compare with the three different versions of the Baohong papers, but I was very happy. Even though there is some difference, but I was very happy used with these papers, and I hope it just help you too. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I will continue with the hot pressed one. That one is a little bit different feeling, and so I tried this hot pressed. So I will take the review as a next